All right, so I'm working on the C10 today, and my intent is to change the clutch today and mount the powder-coated bell housing back together. So looks like the pilot bearing is basically thrashed, and it has no ridges on it to pull out with a traditional tool. So I machined down this little stub here, this mandrel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with grease and pop this in hopes the grease will hydraulically push the bushing out, and then I can install a new bushing. So that's the plan. Fill it with grease. So hopefully this doesn't shoot back at my face. That sucks.
Coming out?
Yeah. Just need a little more grease. The shell is still in there. The cage for the bearing.
Oh, it came apart?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't use the traditional puller, because it does have a lip on it because it got worn down. Try that. One last shot. I did it earlier and it shot out him in the face.
What did?
The grease.
Oh.
There you go. That is so now just need to install a new one without grease. Okay, so this is the McLeod clutch assembly. This is a twin disc clutch. Everything is, well, I shouldn't say everything, but the flywheel bolts are torqued and Loctite in place. Got the bottom disc on, the floater plate on, and the top plate. So now I need to install the clutch or the pressure plate, and then I can torque those bolts down. But it has to be done in a sequential pattern, crisscross pattern, so I don't warp the pressure plate. So I'll do that next, and then I can bolt the bell housing on. All right, I got the pressure plate in. Everything's ready to be torqued. The flywheel bolts are torqued. The adapter plate to the flywheel. There's some nuts that are in here for the floater plate. Those are torqued down, 25 foot-pounds. These are 35 foot-pounds. Do that, get it torqued down. Center the input shaft spacer or adapter, whatever you want to call it. Adapter tool or alignment tool. Alignment tool, yeah, that's it. And then bell housing goes on, and the rest of the bolts. Okay. All right, I got the clutch and pressure plate flywheel all torqued down, I should say. And now it's just a matter of installing the bell housing. Got the match marks for the balancing, ARP bolts for the adapter flange, and then the factory bolts for the pressure plate and the floater plate. So those are all torqued down. From now, I guess from here, it's just a matter of installing the bell housing, which is right there. Just got it powder coated. Traditionally, they're red, but this one now it's gray. So I'll get that installed, and then we can put the throwout bearing in, and the clutch fork, and then the transmission. Alrighty. All right, so the bell housing's on. Everything's torqued. All the fasteners in, at least the ones that hold the bell housing on. We'll have to put the other bolts in later. The other item we need to address is the slave cylinder. So basically they had a bunch of washers on here on the slave cylinder that mount to the side of the bell housing, and I don't like that. So it was rubbing against the bell housing. You see the rust. I'm going to make some standoff spacers for these, so that way it's nice and it's clean, and it's there's no risk of it failing down the road. So I'll go address that real quick. cut some up on the bandsaw, machine them, and then probably find some new hardware. Ready. All right, I got the spacers fabbed up, so that's the mounting situation. I replaced it with these. Basically, it was just stacked washers, so this is a little more solid. So I got that on there. So now it's just a matter of installing the clutch fork in the transmission, and then we're off to the races. All right, I was just taking apart the slave cylinder, and I noticed that basically it doesn't look like I'm going to use this. I can't use that, so I'm gonna redo that. If that ever breaks in service, you're just gonna be stranded. So it's like a 1/2 inch wheel nut on some kind of stud, but it goes in here like so. And then it goes against the clutch fork, which is here, and it goes like this. It goes like that, basically. So this pushes on this, and that sits on the bearing, and that kind of was riding like this. So I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new one of these. So something that's a little bit more rigid and reliable. So I'll do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got the slave cylinder push rod done. This is the one that I made. I made it out of a bell housing pivot point ball and welded a nut to it, TIG welded it, machined it. So this is basically this face here. So it'll go like that, and then this goes inside of the slave cylinder, and it's still adjustable. So you just turn it, and then to the right length, you can adjust it. So I'll install that, and then I can probably put the transmission in. All right, so try it out. All right, this is the final product. After I had to make some adjustments because the clutch needed to be adjusted because the twin disc is a little bit taller. So I had to basically turn down the bull nose of this, and then that was enough to get it close, and then adjust the gem nut that's on the actual pressure plate, or not the pressure plate, but the bell housing. So now it's ready to go in. It's all adjusted. Just gotta start putting all the little components in, and this little sleeve, or not sleeve, but the boot. All right, I'm back working on a C10 today. What I need to do first is basically paint these cylinder heads. These are Edelbrock Performer RPMs. Got some Port 15 engine enamel here. So what I've gone and done is basically masked everything off that I don't want painted. We're gonna get this done first because it's gonna take a while for it to cure. So while this is curing, we can put the front cover on. I'm debating whether or not I should change the oil pan gasket and basically drop the pan, or should I just put the front cover on? I'll have to see what condition the gasket's in. If I can get the pan gasket off reasonably easy without having to do too much, without having to pull the motor basically, then I'll do so. I did get the gasket just in case. So it's cold as a mother in here today. So I'm gonna get these painted up, prep them. I'll probably end up sanding these machine surfaces so the paint will stick better. You have something to bite onto, and then I'll walk over to the truck, get the front cover, put the new seal in it, evaluate the how high I can actually get the motor off the frame to see whether or not I can get the pan out. If I can get the pan out, then I think that'll be easier. But if I can't get the pan out without actually pulling the motor, then I'll have to basically use the front seal, lip seal on the bottom of the pan, and then cut that off, and then basically silicone it in place, and then buy a new gasket for the face of the cover. Everything else is in, cams in, lifters are in, spider tray's in. So it's just time chain's in. It'll be just a matter of getting that pan together today. That's my objective, and getting it all nice and sealed up and tight. Possibly getting these mounted on. I don't know if that's going to be possible just because it's really cold outside today. So we'll have to see what happens. All right. All right, I got the head sanded, hit it with a DA to knock the shine off the machine surfaces. So now I'm going to hit it with some of this aluminum cleaner. This is normally used for prepping aluminum before you weld it, but this will be good at removing the oxide layer and giving the paint something to bite to. So it's on the front, it's in the top. So now I'll just go ahead and clean it and then wipe it down and then start brushing. I had some brushes from Home Depot last night that I think I could use. I got that one there, and then kind of a square one here. If I can get it out. If I can get it out, yeah. So I don't know. I just got two just in case. So and here you go. Try that. Wipe it down and start brushing. All right, I got the cylinder heads painted with the 415. It looks okay. I'll probably have to do some touch up. It's hard to get a good coverage on the first try, on the first cycle of the of painting. But if we do another iteration, we could maybe get some better coverage. So the other one's over here. This one is just sitting up curing. So we'll see what it looks like when it's all fully cured. And then if it takes 2 or 3 cycles to get it done, then so be it. But that's what it looks like after it's painted. And we'll have to see what it looks like when it's dry. Now, time to go deal with the oil pan. All right, so here is the block. We got the heads off, got the new cam in, and the spider tray, new lifters, new retainers for the lifters. Lifters have been soaking overnight. So now the question is, for this, should I see if I could drop the pan and pull the gasket out, replace the gasket, or should I just cut off the front seal, the gasket with a razor knife and use silicone? I want to take the pan off. What determines whether or not I can do that will be how far I can get the motor lifted up. So what I'm going to try to do next is get the motor mounts loose and lift the motor up as high as I can get it, and then hopefully I can get the pan out without too much effort, and then it just basically replace the pan gasket, because I'm pretty sure it's original. So I didn't initially intend on doing that, but I don't want to have any leaks on this thing, so because then you got to go back and do it again. So, and that ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna make sure we do everything we can to get it done right the first time, as best we can. So I'm going to find some wood to basically space off those motor mounts, and then get a jacket underneath it, and then basically get it lifted up before it actually hits the firewall. So let's see if I can get that done. All right, so I got the motor up on some blocks. So that is going to allow me to drop the pan. So I'm going to drop the pan and then put a new gasket on this bad boy. And you know what? And I gotta paint it because it looks like crap. So I'll have to take it off. Maybe drain the oil obviously first, and then paint it, put the gasket on, clean it up, put it back together. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do in a couple minutes here. Well, I just got that oil pan off, and I found something pretty interesting, which leads me to believe this motor would have had problems in the future. So here it goes. Let's see here. That is the oil pickup right there. That bad boy is clogged. And it's a 4-bolt main, so that's good. But yeah, that thing is clogged big time. I'm probably gonna ask the customer if he wants to replace that oil pump with a high volume oil pump, because I think that's a more robust oil pump, like a milling instead of the factory setup. We're here, so we might as well replace it, and then maybe get another pickup. Not maybe get up, but definitely get another pickup, or at least clean that one. But yeah, I think is it's pretty clogged. Get a better shot without getting a drop of oil on my phone. But yeah, That's it's interesting. So, well, I'm glad I took the pan off. That's the pan. Looks like it's in pretty decent shape. I'm just going to clean it. Looks like it has some pretty good sludge in there. I'm gonna clean it and then paint it, and then I'm asking if he wants me to change the oil pump. So, other than that, everything else looks pretty good. So, just this thing did have a rear main seal leak, so I'm not sure if it was coming from the pan or the seal itself, but we can at least eliminate one of them if that's the case. All right, clean the pan. That explains the oil pump pickup being clogged. There's a bunch of crud in here. It's pretty nasty. Just years of use, basically. Maybe lack of oil changes, primarily. But yeah, you can kind of see just the accumulation of just buildup of crud. It's pretty nasty, but I guess that's what you'd expect to see on a motor that probably has over 100,000 miles on it. At least I would. All right, so just got back from the store, and here is our standard volume pump with the plastic nylon coupler sleeve that I don't like. So what I have here is a Melling high volume pump. So you could tell by how tall the gears are that it's a high volume, and the pickup's in the same spot. So this is the pump that we're going to use here, high volume pump. So that should give us 60 psi idle. And also got a ARP stud to replace the bolt that holds up the pump. So I got one of those. And then I also got a drive for the pump that has the steel sleeve, not the nylon sleeve. Nice. So that right there will ensure that it doesn't break, because this is brittle. It's like 5,000 years old. So, and then I got a new pickup that goes from here, basically like that. So there you go. That's what it is.
Nice.
Same thing.
Good upgrade.
Yeah. So then we're gonna do is I'm gonna paint the pan orange. Put that here. Chevy orange, and then oh, that's not that. Something else. And then we'll clear coat it, make it look nice.
Nice.
We got gaskets over here, and a new cover gasket for the timing cover. And then let's see, it's actually a pretty nice gasket.
What, the oil pan?
Yeah.
Or the timing cover?
The oil pan.
Oh,
The
okay.
time cover's nice too.
Yeah, O-ring.
Yeah. So. There you go. Nice little filter there. So that should be good.
This is a nice gasket.
Huh?
So that is a nice gasket.
Mm-hmm. It's not too bad, right? Not too bad. So, yeah, I think it should be good. And so the only potential leak now that could occur is the remain, which we're not going to change that because you'd have to take the bearing cap off and all that.
Did it leak before?
I had a little bit of a leak, but I'm not sure if it leaked from
the pan or that.
The pan or that. I think it was from the pan, so, but I'm not exactly sure. But the river main, I just don't want to start breaking caps, and
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
You keep digging,
Project
keep digging, and before you know it, you got the whole damn engine out rebuilding it. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is basically clean the pan up next, and then paint it up. Then once it's painted up, then I'll weld the pickup tube to the measure the depth, weld the pickup tube, and then start installing everything. So
nice.
All right, that's it.
Nice.